Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something that's been weighing on my mind. Gaza. We see it constantly in the news cycle. But Gaza is more than just a news story. It's home to millions of people with families, dreams, and stories. Let's explore 20 facts about Gaza, revealing its resilience and beauty. I think you'll be surprised by what we find. When we think of ancient history, our minds might wander to the Colosseum in Rome, the Great Wall of China, or the pyramids of Egypt. But did you know that Gaza, this small strip of land on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea, also boasts a rich history? Gaza has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, serving as a crucial crossroads for trade and cultural exchange. Imagine the caravans laden with spices and silks, the bustling marketplaces echoing with a cacophony of languages. These are the echoes of Gaza's past, intricately woven into its present. And that's something worth remembering, don't you think? Picture this, you're strolling through a bustling city, people everywhere, right? Now imagine that density, magnified. That's Gaza. This tiny strip of land, twice the size of Washington, D.C., is home to over 2 million people. Living so close creates a unique social fabric, a sense of shared experience. Imagine the sights, the sounds, the constant hum of activity, the laughter of children echoing through narrow alleyways. But this density also presents incredible challenges. Despite these hurdles, the people of Gaza persevere and innovate, because even in the most crowded spaces, the human spirit finds a way to bloom. So we've talked about how densely populated Gaza is, but did you know that more than half of the people living there are under the age of 18? That's right, more than half. Think about that for a second. These kids, they're growing up surrounded by a reality that most of us can't even imagine. And yet there's this incredible resilience, this hope that persists. It's a testament to the human spirit, you know? We often hear about the conflicts, the struggles, and those are undeniably part of the story. But what we don't hear about enough are the dreams, the aspirations of these young people. They want to be doctors, teachers, artists, just like young people anywhere else. And that's something we need to remember. Their potential, their dreams, they matter. These kids deserve a chance, a real chance at a future filled with possibility. Imagine for a second not being able to leave your city. Not for vacation, not for work, not even to visit family who live just a few miles away. That's the reality for most people living in Gaza. Gaza is bordered by Israel and Egypt, and there are very tight restrictions on who can enter and leave. This makes even the simplest things incredibly difficult. Imagine not being able to go to college or get specialized medical treatment simply because you can't leave. It's like living in an open-air prison, and it has a profound impact on every aspect of life in Gaza. It limits opportunities, it separates families, and it creates a sense of isolation that's hard to even fathom. And that's something we need to talk about. We need to talk about the human cost of these restrictions, the dreams deferred, the opportunities lost, and the impact this has on an entire generation. Okay, so picture this. You're trying to get ready for school or work, but the lights go out. No big deal, right? We've all been there. But then, hours pass, and the electricity still hasn't come back on. Now imagine that happening almost every single day. That's the reality for people in Gaza, where power outages are a part of daily life. Most families only get a few hours of electricity each day, if that. Think about how much we rely on electricity. Refrigerators, lights, computers, phones, they all depend on a steady supply of power. Now imagine trying to live, to work, to learn without that basic necessity. It's a constant source of stress and uncertainty, and it has a ripple effect on every aspect of life in Gaza. From hospitals struggling to keep equipment running, to students trying to study by candlelight, the power outages take a toll. It's easy to get caught up in the challenges facing Gaza, but amidst the difficulties, there's a real commitment to education. You see it in the families, you see it in the kids, you see it in the teachers. Despite the limitations they face, Gaza boasts one of the highest literacy rates in the entire region. Think about that for a second. Limited resources, constant uncertainty, and yet education remains a top priority. That says something about the human spirit, doesn't it? It reminds me of something Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And in Gaza, that belief truly resonates. Families there make incredible sacrifices to ensure their children get an education because they understand that knowledge, that learning, is a pathway to a brighter future. It's a testament to their hope, their resilience. When we talk about places like Gaza, we often focus on the conflicts, the hardships, and while those things are undeniably part of the story, it's important to remember that there's more to Gaza than just struggle. There's life, there's beauty, and there's art. In the face of adversity, art can be a powerful form of expression, a way to process emotions, a way to find hope. And in Gaza, art isn't just something you hang on a wall, it's woven into the fabric of their culture. From the intricate steps of traditional dabke dance to the raw emotions poured into spoken word poetry, Gazans find creative outlets to tell their stories, to share their experiences. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit finds a way to shine through. It's a reminder that art can be a source of strength, a source of unity, and a source of hope. The Mediterranean Sea has always been a lifeline for the people of Gaza. For generations, fishing has been a way of life, a source of food, a source of income. But in recent times, even this essential practice has faced immense challenges. Imagine for a moment setting out on the open water, not knowing if you'll be able to fish freely or if restrictions will limit your catch for the day. That's the reality for many Gazan fishermen. Due to the ongoing blockade, the fishing zone off the coast of Gaza has been severely restricted. These limitations mean fishermen can't venture out as far, can't access the most plentiful fishing grounds, and as a result, their livelihoods are constantly under threat. It's a story of economic hardship, but it's also a story of resilience. Despite the challenges, Gazan fishermen continue to head out to sea, determined to provide for their families, determined to hold on to a way of life that has sustained them for generations. Even in places facing hardship, life goes on. In Gaza, faith plays a central role in people's lives. Their faith, traditions, and community connections are essential. These are threads woven into their daily lives. Imagine finding strength in shared rituals and stories. Even in adversity, hope and belonging flourish. The human spirit is remarkably enduring. When we think of Gaza, images of conflict often come to mind, but there's another side, a deep connection to the land. For centuries, agriculture has been a way of life in Gaza. The olive tree holds a special place in Gazan culture. It's a symbol of resilience, of peace, of roots that run deep. Even in challenging circumstances, life finds a way. We've talked about the resilience of the Gazan people, their deep faith, their connection to the land. But there's a harsh reality that casts a shadow over the lives of many, especially the younger generation, and that's the issue of unemployment. Imagine this: you're young, full of energy and dreams for the future, but the opportunities to build that future feel incredibly limited. That's the situation facing countless young people in Gaza, where unemployment rates are among the highest in the world. Think about the weight of that, the feeling of your aspirations being stifled, of not being able to contribute to your community in the way you long to. It's a recipe for frustration, for disillusionment, and it's a cycle that's incredibly difficult to break. And it's a reminder, isn't it, that peace isn't just the absence of conflict, it's the presence of opportunity, the chance to work, to learn, to provide for yourself and your family. These are the foundations of a stable and hopeful future. Gaza might be one of the most densely populated places on the planet, but that doesn't mean there isn't beauty to be found. Gaza borders the Mediterranean Sea, and those beaches? Stunning. Imagine a sunset over the water. The sky is ablaze with oranges and pinks, and the waves gently roll onto the shore. It's a scene that makes you want to just sit and breathe. Life can be incredibly difficult, but those moments of beauty offer a reminder of hope. Okay, this next fact is tough to hear, but it's important. Hospitals in Gaza are often dealing with severe shortages, essential medicines, basic medical supplies, things that hospitals need to function to save lives. It creates incredibly difficult situations for healthcare workers, and it's the patients who suffer most. The people of Gaza face daily challenges and hardships, but their resilience shines through. Family bonds in Gaza are incredibly strong. Many families are separated by borders. Restrictions make it difficult to see each other. Yet they stay connected through calls and video chats. They share stories and support each other. We find strength and hope in these bonds. You know, we talk a lot about the challenges in Gaza, and deservedly so. But amidst the hardships, there's this incredible dedication to learning, a hunger for knowledge that's truly inspiring. Imagine growing up knowing that education might be the only way to create a better future, not just for yourself, but for your whole community. That's the reality for many young people in Gaza. Teachers in Gaza are true heroes, working tirelessly with limited resources to make sure the next generation has a chance. They understand the power of education to transform lives, to open up possibilities. And it's not just about textbooks and exams. It's about nurturing critical thinking, fostering creativity, and empowering young minds to dream big, even in the face of adversity. One of the things I find fascinating about different cultures is how food is so central to their identity, and Gaza is no exception. You see, food isn't just sustenance. It's an expression of love, a celebration of tradition, a way to connect with family and community, even when times are tough. Imagine the aroma of spices filling the air, the warmth of freshly baked bread, the vibrant colors of vegetables grown with care. That's the heart of Gazan cuisine. From the rich flavors of moussakhan to the simple pleasure of fresh seafood pulled straight from the Mediterranean, each bite tells a story of resilience, resourcefulness, and the enduring power of human connection. We often take it for granted the ability to turn on a tap and have clean, safe water flow freely. But for many in Gaza, access to clean water is a daily struggle, a constant source of worry. Think about that for a second. Imagine not being able to trust the water that comes out of your faucet, knowing that it could make you or your loved ones sick. Over 90% of Gaza's water supply is contaminated, deemed unfit for human consumption. That means families have to rely on expensive water delivery services or risk their health with every sip. It's a stark reminder of the basic necessities that are often out of reach for so many in Gaza, a heartbreaking reality that demands our attention and action. Hey everybody, it's Jerome. When we talk about Gaza, it's easy to get caught up in the struggles and headlines, but even in the hardest places, we find ways to laugh, to love, to celebrate. That's definitely true in Gaza. Imagine this. The power might be flickering, resources are scarce, but a family is gathered. There's music, maybe an oud or a tabla, and suddenly the rhythm takes over. They're dancing, telling stories, sharing a meal, finding moments of pure joy. It's that resilience, that ability to hold on to hope and joy that defines the human spirit. To see people in Gaza celebrating a wedding, the birth of a child, or a beautiful sunset over the Mediterranean, it reminds us that life keeps going. These moments of laughter and connection are acts of defiance, a testament to the strength and spirit of the Gazan people. And you know, DFTBA, don't forget to be awesome, it's a way of life. In Gaza, amidst the challenges, they haven't forgotten. They're reminding us that even in the darkest times, there's always room for joy, for laughter, for celebrating the moments that make us human. The people of Gaza face challenges and hardships every single day, but their resilience is remarkable and inspiring, constantly rebuilding, picking up the pieces after conflict. It would be easy to give up, to lose hope, but they keep going, finding ways to laugh and celebrate. This defines the spirit of Gaza: hope, determination, and belief in a better future, a powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit. It's so easy to get caught up in the headlines and the politics and the conflict, but what we often forget is that Gaza is more than just a news story. It's a place where people live, where families laugh together, where children dream of a brighter future. It's a place full of life, full of love, full of humanity. We need to remember that the people of Gaza are just like us. They have hopes, they have fears, they have dreams for themselves and their children. They want what we all want: peace, security, a chance to live a good life. When we reduce Gaza to just a conflict zone, we dehumanize the people who live there. We forget their stories, their struggles, their triumphs. We lose sight of the fact that they are human beings deserving of our empathy, our understanding, and our support. Let's challenge ourselves to see beyond the headlines, to see the individuals, the families, the communities that make up this vibrant and resilient place. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about Gaza with me. I know it's a complex issue, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed or even helpless. But even small acts of awareness, of understanding, can make a difference. It's so important to remember that there are real people living in Gaza, people with hopes, dreams, and stories that deserve to be heard. Let's carry these stories with us. Let's continue to learn, to listen, and to amplify the voices of the Gazan people. Remember, the world is a complex place, and understanding starts with empathy. As always, stay curious, stay compassionate, and let's keep learning together. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for more information on how you can help support the people of Gaza. And if you found this video insightful, please consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this.